Hello everyone, this is Technician 775, the reliable prepper with Lily and Blue, Knucklehead and Gooberhead. Alright, y'all need to move. What we're going to do, we have a list of about 15 items that we want to take and share with you guys. Pertaining to the Predator 3500 watt generator from Harbor Freight. These are very nice units. I gave them an A+. We've been running them for a while now, and we also have the little brother, which is the Predator 1600 2000 watt inverter generator. Okay, let's get started. I got a list right here of some odds and ends that we want to discuss. It's about 15 items. If you live in Hurricane Alley, we live in South Louisiana, as you probably may or may not know. And we all the time struggle with hurricanes, storms, and such as that. Behind us back here, under that is a 12 kW Honda generator right there. I've got it covered up right now. I just had it out today running. I put it back. I run it about once a month. Same thing with the Predators. We are food vendors. We do that several times a year. And a lot of venues we go to do not have power. And actually we'll bring this one right here and power up everything, and it does a fine job for what we need. Okay, number one, you see a lot of people doing a oil fill door mod. Please don't do that. This unit does have a vent right here. All right, it vents the air up into the motor and across everything to keep it cool. If you want to have extra cooling, I would suggest, and we do use, okay, these Stanley Fans right here, we'll actually put it in the front of the machine just like this and run it on high. It does create just a little bit extra air movement. We are in the south. We do have really high temps, and it does help. It does help keep the units as cool. Okay, fuel additives. All right, the book will tell you to use a fuel additive. We use Stabil, which is one of the better fuel additives in my opinion, and we actually double what they recommend. We do run the tanks dry whenever we get a chance, you know, so it helps keep the fuel stable, and whenever you need to use this thing, it's up and ready to go. Okay, a fuel cleaner. We like the Royal Purple fuel cleaner. We add a little bit of this to the mix of the with the fuel. It kind of keeps things just pretty clean. Seafoam is another excellent one. I'm not just touting just one of them. Seafoam is another. Lucas makes some really good stuff as well. Okay, for any little screws or odds and ends, the wheels and stuff like this, we use a white lithium grease spray, you know, like that. Okay, whenever you go to refuel it, if you're in an emergency situation and you happen to take and use it, where you store it is going to be your option. Okay, but please, when this thing runs out of fuel, open up the cap, let it cool, you know, for about 10 minutes. Open up the cap, just take a breather. You guys get a drink of water or something like that. And I know everybody's gonna be jumping up and down wanting the generator back up running again. This will run extension cords through your house, okay, and tee off for your extension cords for your refrigerators, freezers, and a little small window unit for your bedroom where you guys can sleep where it's comfortable. It'll run a little small 6,000, 5,500 BTU air conditioner, your refrigerators and your freezers without too much of a problem. Okay, and please let it cool about 10-15 minutes. Fill it up and give her a crank. There is an electric start on here. Okay. And you'll see the two battery tenders that we got right there. Extra fuel cans. Pick them up while you can. We've got about 10 or 15 fuel cans. A lot of times we'll just fill up a 55-gallon drum because we kind of live out in the country and sometimes it's hard to get fuel. We went through Hurricane Rita and there was no fuel for about 2 weeks. It was really hard to come by. Luckily we filled up a 55-gallon drum. We had fuel for the cars. I think at the time I had a diesel truck and we had the diesel tank full, you know, as well. So about 10 cans, leave them empty. If a hurricane comes or a storm comes, you know, wherever you are, go fill up your cans. Okay, store them outside and put them under a tarp or something. Please do not store them inside the house. If you don't have to use the fuel, which you can do, put it in your car. It won't go bad. All right. Also, the wheels right here have a lock. Please use the lock. It keeps the machine from going in and out. Also, too, please keep this away from your house. If you have a garage, an open air garage, point the exhaust, which is the back here, to the outside, and put your fan blowing like this, which blows the exhaust outside. They had a garage, I think it was either Rita or the hurricane after it, I can't remember which one, but a deputy and his dad were killed. They had the generator running in the garage with the door open and the exhaust pointing out, but what's happening is the wind, as it was blowing, filled the garage up, and the monoxide got into the house and killed both the deputy and his dad. They were trying to do their best. They were helping people. They were staying in either his or his dad's house. Please, you know, be mindful of the exhaust fumes on here, because it can kill you. Even running my big diesel, I'll put it out here and put the exhaust pointing this way. I can smell it in the house. So what's going to happen is, if we get a storm, we'll actually take this, put it on the trailer, and go move it to another secured area we have in the back there. Extension cords, again, run your extension cords through your house to power up everything. Do not plug into one of the main sockets or a dryer plug or anything like that to try to back power the house. If you don't turn your main on, you're going to blow, you can possibly hurt somebody. In Franklin, Louisiana, a little town I grew up in, one of the linemen was killed because somebody was running the generator, was back feeding it, and they thought the lines were dead, and he grabbed it and it killed him. You know, so please be careful with the extension cords, and are not plugging it into the house. Okay, one of the things too, when you're ready, when your main power has come back on, all right, and you want to shut this thing off, unplug all the power from it first, okay, and then shut it off. Do not unplug it with a load on it, because what will happen then, you'll actually have a good chance of running the generator head on this when you take and shut it down with a load under it. There's some kind of odd setup, like, you know, and most of the generators are like that. Okay, keep your batteries charged. Like I said, these two trickle chargers here, Stanley makes a real nice one, and the Syntec is from Harbor Freight. Batteries right behind here. I do suggest keeping an extra battery on hand. They're about $20 on eBay. They're not very expensive. I do suggest keeping an extra one. And screw right here opens up, and you can put the two clips right there and keep this battery on the inside charged up. It'll be charged and ready to go whenever you need it. Okay, oils to break in. Look at the manual and they'll tell you what oil to use for break in. Of course, it's getting warm out here. Okay, after break in, we like using, and this is my personal, the Mobil 1 15W50, especially in the heat down here. This air-cooled engine, and the 15 is a little bit thin. Sometimes you could probably do a 20W50 or maybe even a 30W50, but this is all around use. A startup is going to be a little thin oil. As it heats up, it's going to get thick, so it'll actually go and maintain where it needs to be for oil protection. Mobil 1, any synthetic is good. We like Mobil 1. That's what we use. Okay. Like I said, extra fuel cans, you can take the gas that you don't use and put it in your car. Okay, one of the other items here. Make sure if you're in Hurricane Alley, East Coast, South Florida, like that, make sure you have enough oil. You're going to want, I think it's a little over a quart. So you're going to want enough oil for every 25 hours, or basically 1 day of running, to be able to take and change your oil. And something to put the used oil in too, because a lot of times you run into a problem where, oh, I don't have anything to put the used oil in. Okay, get you a pan of some sort, drain it in there, and save some empty milk jugs just for that use, and then bring it down and get it recycled. But you're going to want enough oil. My suggestion is for 2 weeks. Oil's cheap for the most part. You don't have to use synthetic, but we highly recommend it, because it does you know, help protect this engine, because it's under a load. It's an air-cooled engine to begin with, and there's a lot of heat, especially down here in this area. Okay, some basic hand tools, Phillips and a flat tip screwdriver. Go in here to where your carburetor is. There's a drain. Make sure you have a little socket or a wrench for that. Okay, and put your fan blowing. Put your exhaust pointing out away from the house, and your fan blowing up against this right here as well. Also highly recommend, almost to the part of demanding, a carbon monoxide monitor to put inside the house. You can plug it in, put it up on something, and that ways, just in case you happen to get a little bit of backflow, it'll actually help protect you and the loved ones there. You don't all die because you're trying to take a run the generator, you know, and keep the a small air conditioner running, a few lights, your refrigerator, and the such as that. Okay, with that said, if I've missed anything, my apologies. There is a paralleling kit you can use for 2 of these. A lot of people will get a big generator. The bigger the generator, the more fuel you're going to use. If you have a small air conditioner for one room where you can sleep, it's very comfortable. Okay, keep your freezer and your refrigerators going. Make sure you have plenty of extension cords, some 4-way plugs, and you can take and use these 2 right here. This is a 120 lock, you know, so you can actually look at that and get a 120 and a splitter. If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, Ace Hardwares, they can actually help you with, tell them what you want to do, and get some good heavy duty extension cords. Put them in a box, put them away, and just make sure you laid everything out, and that way when crunch time comes, you have it, it's ready to go, and you don't have any worries. You can, you know, start working on other things like some water, some food, etc., etc. Okay, all right, Lily. Alrighty, with that said, this is Technician 775, the Reliable Prepper, saying I hope this video helped. If you have any comments, please don't hesitate to comment, and keep us, keep us busy. I love answering all the questions. I want to say thank you again, and please subscribe.